My body is completely dead, and I can barely breathe at this point. I'm a little worried because right now, I'm dead weight. My whole body's cramping.
Come on, guys.
Welcome back to the show. I'm so excited. I'm here with Paulie Calafiore from MTV's The Challenge War of the Worlds 2. What's up, Paulie? It's an honor to
I feel
be
like
here with you.
I'm excited because
You are?
I see you do all these interviews and I'm like, she seems awesome. I want to be sitting on that couch next to her.
It's my own little challenge every day. Now, Paulie, you know we have to talk because this season's final looks absolutely insane. And in that last clip, we saw you gassing out, buddy. What's going on? You usually don't gas out. You're a trooper.
Yeah, no, I never gas out. I think what had happened was I miscalculated in terms of my preparation leading up to it. I had planned for the final to be running.
Right.
Puzzles, swimming, all that. A little bit of carrying. I did not expect it to be majority carrying. You don't know what a final is going to be. So you don't know if it's better to go with a bigger team, smaller team. The heat at that point had completely gotten the best of me. I mean, it wasn't the fact that I was gassing out. It was the fact that I had no vision. My kidneys were shutting down. And at that point, my brain switched from finishing to life or death situation. Like, if I pass out right now, I'm not making it to the hospital because it's 45 minutes away. So something needs to switch on. Adrenaline needs to kick in. Otherwise, I'm not just getting carried off of this jungle in a stretcher. I'm completely getting carried off of this planet.
Wow.
You know?
It was that dire. I mean, I know you're a very mind over matter type of guy, but even this was clearly the heat was getting to you. Now, not only were you upset with yourself, but Zach was super frustrated with you. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
You wondered why I wanted to keep strong players on this team. Now you know.
This whole season, while Paulie and Cara and their alliance tore our team apart, being terrible in the final is what I was so afraid of happening. We're just a shell of what we could be, and it's very frustrating.
It's slightly intimidating to have Zach a little mad at you, though, right? I mean, he's just massive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he wasn't mad at me there. So when he decided to not go 2 in a row, the plan was to have the 3 guys carry every single time. When he decided to not carry, that's when I knew I was gonna be picking up the extra slack, and he was yelling at Ninja and Cara essentially that whole second round while Leroy and I were carrying, because there were points where I had to jump over and grab Ninja stuff and hold it with 2 hands, and I just completely burned myself out. And at that point, then it fell on him and everybody else to pick up the slack for that first leg, and he was not happy that there weren't other people that could carry that weight a little less. I mean, showing up to the final and knowing that we had to carry more weight, we all just kind of looked at each other like, man, like that's just a bad luck of the draw, but we got to figure out how to do it. And I chose to be like, if we win, people are going to be like, you're the reason why you put all these people together, right? But if we lost, I also knew that I was going to take the complete opposite side of it, because that's what you do. If you're the captain, if you're the leader of your team, you got to take that. So I put it on myself to pick up the extra slack when he wanted to sit out that second round. And when he's upset at that point, the only thing that I could do is try and keep everybody's mental like at a certain point. But at that point, I was thinking about not dying. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were feeling the heat, but I'm sure you were getting it. Even Theo got on Twitter and had some things to say, tweeting that you were a letdown to your team and you should have quit. Do you feel that way? Like, do you think you should have quit?
You know, I think that everything's subjective. I actually expected Theo, as a former athlete, to at least understand sportsmanship on and off the field. He hasn't really gotten it yet. I mean, rewind the clocks to War of the Worlds 1. Georgia was hands down one of the best runners, if not the best runner going into that final. She had a chance of beating all the guys there. And that's me saying that straight up, no BS. I was her partner in the one competition. She was proven as a runner. She got heat stroke. Right? Done, in the ambulance, asking for Bear, right? You can't control what's going on when you get heat stroke. You can control if you're gassing out. You can control your breaths and do that stuff. When you start to get heat stroke and your body temperature has risen over 104 degrees and your brain isn't thinking anything and your eyesight isn't there. My eyesight wasn't there. My body was shutting down. It just goes to show you that people will have comments about me because they know it's going to get them engagement. It's going to get them whatever. I had a lot more respect for Theo until he started making comments like that, only because his best friend experienced the same thing the final before, which was built for runners. Like, this final was not built for a runner, and I'm a runner.
Yeah, you had to be strong and carry a lot of weight on top of being. You could have run 16 miles, no problem.
Yeah, and the problem is, like, when I was talking about like peaking and doing all that stuff, it's because I come into the season heavy.
Right.
In case I have to go into an elimination against a bigger opponent, and then as the season goes on, I cut myself down, lean myself out to be able to run lighter, longer, and all that stuff. So if that's the mindset of how you prep for the final, and then all of a sudden you need to be bigger to be able to carry the more weight, it's almost like I did all that, you know, peaking, so to speak, and preparation and all the science behind it, like with the program, to just then get hit with the complete opposite. It's almost like I should have came in light, bulked up, and it would have been good. So
you never know on the challenge.
That's the thing, is you never know. But the thing is, we know. So when I see castmates jump on the train like that, it's almost like insulting, because it's like, look, man, you haven't won a final yet either.
Well, that's true. But it wasn't only you that struggled. Even Cara was sort of having a hard time with the checkpoints after talking a big game all season. We know she doesn't like an eating challenge. What's that about? Do you think she talks a bigger game than she really has?
I don't think that's the case. I think everybody knows that Cara, you know, her method to preparation is to freak out until it gets to a point where she has to convince herself that she needs to stop freaking out and just do the damn thing, right? So everybody has a different preparation. She talks the way she does. I mean, she has a resume, right?
She does.
The way the way her and I talk are very different. I talk the way I talk because I come from athletics. So when you're there, you smack talk, right? When you're off the field, you're chilling, right? And I think that was just the method to her madness. She essentially got it down, and that's what she always does. Some people handle pressure a certain way, and others handle it differently. To be able to call out what she's accomplished off of that, once again, I feel as though people take cheap shots at that, because if you're working your way towards the top or you're at the top, that means that everybody else is going to be vying for that spot.
Of course.
That's just how competition works.
Of course.
And I'm fine with that.
The better you are, the more heat you're going to get.
Essentially. So I understand the heat. I understand why people comment on things. The only reason, like I said, why Theo made me upset is because I do look at him like a little brother, because, you know, kind of like a smack-talking little brother, right?
Right.
But he is a former athlete. And I do think that came from a place of bitterness, not from a place of what he actually feels.
Yeah, that's fair enough.